In the NBA, more so than arguably any other professional sport, the players are in control of their own destinies. If they are good enough players, they have the leverage to earn big money, impact the situations they play in, demand trades that be made, and use free agency as a tool in their favor. LeBron James started this movement back in 2010 when he made the infamous decision to leave Cleveland for Miami and team up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and since then, players have followed his lead and been more liberated than ever. Just last year, we saw big names like Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving change teams in hope of forming dominant contenders with their new organizations, and this kind of stuff isn't going away anytime soon. A few days ago, news broke of yet another big-name player being unhappy in his current situation, looking for greener pastures elsewhere, with that player being Victor Oladipo. Oladipo may have struggled through injuries in each of his last few years, but at full strength, he's proven to be a highly productive two-way player that would fit on any team looking to compete. He's going to be highly sought after, with several teams having the assets to try to acquire him and the team makeup that Oladipo is looking for, but there's one team in particular that I think would satisfy every item on Oladipo's checklist for a potential new destination, and I don't think it's on that many people's minds, and it hasn't been discussed that much. Before we get into things though, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. So, a few days ago, reports came out from Jared Weiss of The Athletic saying that Victor Oladipo is looking to move on. Oladipo experienced a major breakout 2 seasons ago when he was traded to Indiana from Oklahoma City, having made the All-Defensive First Team, All-NBA Third Team, and the All-Star Team, and he looked like he was about to become one of the best two-way players in the league throughout his prime years. Then, unfortunately, the injury bug struck the next season, and in each of the last 2 seasons, he's been hampered with them, and in the time he's been on the court, just hasn't been able to consistently look like his pre-injury self at all. In that 2017-2018 season, Oladipo posted averages of 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game while leading the league in steals and shooting a highly efficient 48% from the field and 37% from 3, looking like the perfect two-way star to build around. In the playoffs that season, he went toe-to-toe with LeBron James and the Cavaliers in a thrilling first-round series that went 7 games, but unfortunately LeBron got the better of the matchup and sent them home. Then from there, we started to see the decline and injury problems. He would only manage to play 36 games the next season, and in that span, he averaged about 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, while his efficiency dropped down to 42% from the field and 37% from 3. His injury held him out of the playoffs that year, and the Pacers once again got eliminated in the first round. With Oladipo's injury carrying well into this season from last season, the Pacers knew they had to add additional pieces in order to stay in the playoff hunt, so they brought in Malcolm Brogdon in free agency, and his presence along with the emergence of Domantas Sabonis held things down this year for Indiana while Oladipo recovered. He missed 4 months to start the season, but he made his return in late January, and as most players do after recovering from injuries, still didn't quite look like his old self. In the 19 games he played in the regular season this year, he averaged only 14.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, while shooting a very subpar 39% from the field and 32% from 3. That marked a second consecutive season in a row with his numbers plummeting, and as a result, he doesn't even seem to be the #1 option there anymore. Domantas Sabonis improved immensely this season, earning an All-Star nomination, and is still getting better and better. Malcolm Brogdon is also now the primary ball handler and a very reliable playmaker in the backcourt who, in the playoffs, seemed to have a bigger role than Oladipo. All of these things have played a role in Oladipo seemingly looking for a new home, and once the report came out, rumors started swirling about where he might go. Boston became an immediate target because the thought of Gordon Hayward going back home to Indiana, along with the fact that the Celtics have 3 first-round picks in their arsenal this year to offload in any potential potential trade seems very reasonable return for Indiana. But there's another team out there that I really haven't seen any buzz for regarding an Oladipo move that I think not only has the capability to, but absolutely should pounce on the opportunity, and that team is the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets should be suitors for Oladipo for a variety of reasons, and I'll go through each one by one. For starters, next season the Nets absolutely expect to go all in on a championship. When they signed both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant last summer, they did so with patience being part of the plan for this year, knowing that when Durant returns to the court next year, they'll be a dangerous team. This year was more so for the purpose of figuring out which players actually have a future with them for when they begin to contend, and which players are expendable, and the expendable players will absolutely be used as trade bait. The Nets have a very strong nucleus of young, up-and-coming talent, but these kinds of players aren't always what title contenders want, so swapping them out for established stars like Oladipo could put them over the top. The two players that I believe would be very intriguing in a trade offer to Indiana are Spencer Dinwiddie and Caris LeVert, who are both incredibly talented players who would likely see their roles decrease in a big way next season with everyone healthy, so moving them in a trade could work out perfectly not only for the Nets, but also for the Pacers, and these two players individually as well. The Pacers desperately need shot creation out on the perimeter, as they were one of the least perimeter-oriented teams in the entire NBA last year. Dinwiddie is a 20-point scorer who excels with the ball in his hands and can be relied upon to get a shot off from anywhere on the floor. Plus, Caris LeVert is coming off of an incredibly strong showing in the bubble. With Kevin Durant back next year, though, he might not be able to continue that momentum that he built fully, so going to a new team where he'll get the opportunity to shine is what's best for him as well. As for why the Nets do this trade, they have proven that they're willing to take risks on players with injuries, as signing both Irving and Durant have proven, as long as the upside is there. Going all in on a championship takes risks, and the reward of potentially getting Oladipo back to his near all-star level is worth the price they would be paying for him. He may have only 1 year left on his contract, but Oladipo is clearly looking to go to a team that can contend, and on a team like the Nets, with as much talent as they have, he would absolutely be inclined to re-sign with them next summer. In a backcourt with Kyrie Irving, Oladipo would also bring some much-needed defense to the lineup. He's already proven that he can excel off the ball, and when healthy, he actually showed off a very much improved ability to playmake for others, which is always a welcome attribute to any backcourt as a secondary playmaker. A big three of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Victor Oladipo is absolutely worth taking a chance on, because the Nets' timetable to win a championship will not be that long. If they go all in here, the East is in trouble, and it will be very fun to watch. With that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think of a potential Victor Oladipo trade to Brooklyn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.